My mom has a lemon tree that produces way more lemons than either we or friends can possibly consume. So the good news is we make limoncello. Typically, the recommended amount, of course, varies. Depending on who you ask, you get different numbers. If we're making limoncello, I'm gonna use probably about lemons, maybe 8 of them, this size. If the size is a lot bigger, of course, you use less. For example, when I make orangello, which is the same thing but with an orange flavor instead, because oranges tend to be bigger, I use 6 oranges, but I use 8 lemons. I should mention, by the way, that there are a whole variety of recipes for limoncello. The process I'm following today is one that was taught to me by my friend, the great Turi Altavilla. Turi, infinite thanks for sharing your wisdom with me. So to get started, here is what we need. The initial part of the process, we don't need much. We need a mason jar, pretty damn big one, as you can see. For alcohol, the 8 lemons that I mentioned. For alcohol, I'm going to use Everclear 120 proof. You can use, this is actually the maximum that I can legally buy in California. There are other states and other places in the world may allow you more, which some people want to have a stronger alcohol. This is as strong as it's gonna get legally where I'm at. Other options, some people use vodka 100 proof, but you know, that's up to you. This is the way that I was taught. The other thing we're gonna need is just a nylon brush and a potato peeler. So let's get started. Okay, so first step, we take the lemons, we give them a quick wash. And after that, we're gonna scrub them with this nylon scrub. Not too hard, but just enough to remove any impurities or dirt that's on the outside. Because for limoncello, we're actually not using the fruit itself. The fruit, you still got to find some other use for it. We're just gonna use the peels. So next step is to start peeling the lemon. So with a good potato peeler, I typically do it by the trash, but you can do it wherever you want. You start, the key here is to go really light. Like if you start peeling a little bit, like...
Do you want a bowl or a plate?
Yeah, maybe I'll put one. I'll put a plate. So this is exactly what you want to see. You see the peel, there's pretty much no white underneath. That's what you want. So a very thin layer. So you see here the white is still attached to the fruit, because the white part otherwise may give a bitter taste to it all. So you only want the most superficial outside layer. And you start saving. You see here I'm about to go a little too deep, so I remove it and start over from a different angle. Okay, so now a lot of peeling later. I have about the 8 lemons all peeled, and you can see, you know, a tiny bit of white is okay. You just don't want it to be too much or too thick. So now that I have all these, I should mention one thing I forgot to mention earlier. You want to make sure that the lemons come from, in an ideal world, that they come from a tree of somebody you know. In a less ideal world, you can get at the market something they swear up and down that hasn't been sprayed with anything. Because conventionally grown lemons are often sprayed with all sort of toxic crap. And yeah, granted that you're washing them and you're scrubbing them with a nylon scrub, but I still wouldn't use this. I still wouldn't do this stuff with just any lemon you buy at the store. So ideally, try to get it from your friend's yard. Again, less ideal world, organic, maybe it's okay, I'm not sure, but yeah, you really don't want to have any extra stuff sprayed on them. Having said that, I'm going to put all the peels in this jar. Now we pour the butter of Everclear in that. And we are down for stage one. The first step, that's all we're gonna do. At this point, we are just going to wait a couple of months. I'm gonna seal this tightly, make sure it's super tight, and I'm going to I'm gonna store it somewhere kind of in the back of the pantry or something, somewhere dark, where it doesn't get too much heat or light. And then I'm just gonna see this baby in about 2 months, and we're gonna move to the next step. This is where its brother is already waiting for it. Before I wrap this step, I should give a shout out to the great Ulysses Bella for giving me a Ghetto Dojo Jiu-Jitsu hoodie that I love a lot. So thank you, Ulysses, you're the man. In video time, I'm gonna be back in about 2 seconds. In real time, it's gonna be 2 months from now. Okay, it has been 2 months since I saw you last for the first part of the limoncello. This has been sitting in for 2 months. We are now gonna open it. Ooh, it smells amazing. It's so good. So what we're gonna do next is you need to drain, I'm just gonna separate the peel from the alcohol, and what I'm gonna do, you can do it in any which way. You can do it on a big pot if you don't have another jar, that's fine. I'm gonna do it in the jar right now, using a strainer. Okay, now that it's done, the peels, you can keep them, put them anywhere. They can smell up the house. They're fantastic. They smell amazing. So if you want to keep it for a couple of days, maybe even longer, you can keep them around the house. It creates a fantastic smell. Once you have strained all these, I'm going to seal this one back up for the time being. And we're gonna reuse it very soon. But before we do that, there's something else that needs to be done, which is to create a sugar and water mix. I've already put in here 3 cups of sugar. The recipe calls for 4 cups of sugar. It's already an ungodly amount, and honestly it tastes great even with 3 cups. So I'm cool with 3 cups. And let's do a quick cut because I forgot how many cups of water that is.
How many, puppy? How many cups, little boy?
In here I've put already 4 cups of water. Again, the recipe that uses the 4 cups of sugar uses more water, even like about 7 cups of water. So up to you, you know, you decide how much you're gonna use. I'm just starting to warm up the water. I'm gonna start putting the sugar in here. And I'm gonna mix it, I mean, not continuously, but kind of, like I want it to be well mixed by the time it's all inside. And I'm gonna keep mixing and boiling until I get the water to slightly boil. And then once the water starts boiling with the sugar solution in there, I'm just gonna let it cool down. And only once it's mostly cooled down, then we move on to the next step. Okay, we finished off bringing this to a boil. Now the sugar is all melted inside, so we're good there. I let it cool down, so I get touch totally cool by now. I'm going to start separating these between two separate empty bottles. I'm gonna kind of eyeball it. Doesn't have to be absolutely precise. Just that's a start. Let's see how this one does. About comparable. Let's have a little. Okay, now with my sugar and water mix, I'm just gonna use a ladle and I'm gonna add it up to the bottle. Boom, there we go. Now I'm gonna repeat the operation with the second bottle, but I'm not gonna make you watch that. I'm just gonna close this one and let it sit in a dark spot somewhere away from direct sunlight for about 2 weeks. And in 2 weeks, which is gonna be in video time, just a few seconds, we're gonna get to finally taste it. Okay, it's now 2 weeks later and the limoncello is ready. So now it's tasting time. Limoncello, you can drink it like a shot. You can drink it kind of sipping on it. It's really up to you. I like the taste, so I like it as almost like a sipping thing. Wow, it's amazing. It's strong and you feel all the lemon taste. It pervades everything. So now you know the process. 2 months infusing the lemon peels, then 2 weeks after you take out the peels and you add the sugar water mix, and you have this amazing drink. So, salute.